Deep inside the recesses of my mind hides something rotten and diseased. The images come and go, but only fragments of the true dark image. It's as if a pus-filled sore has been raised, yet I cannot force the yellow worm to the surface. I paint. I ponder. I paint, yet nothing of what my true thoughts linger upon will jump onto this damp canvas. My paintings already haunt others, but they do not yet approach the depravity that I know is out there, or in here, in my mind. I am racked with insomnia and half-formed images, but nothing concrete, nothing whole, nothing physical, nothing real. It was insomnia that first brought me to do something that I had not been accustomed to doing: reading. After running out of my own books of interest, I took to searching through the musty heirlooms of my long-dead great-uncle, bestowed upon me by my father some years ago. Here, among these antiquated books, I happened upon that which had evaded my unfocused youthful gaze: a large diary, kept by my great-uncle over the course of his adult life. Losing myself in the life and time of my great-uncle gave me some pleasure over the course of many sleepless nights. In fact, it calmed me at first, but slowly my mind pulled away from lighter subjects and into the sordid interest of my uncle's later life. After much reading, I determined that my great-uncle was a queer sort of fellow who kept to himself and his books. He was well read in anthropology, mythology, sociology, and psychology, but his academic pursuits paled in comparison to his less scientific endeavors. Volumes on the black arts, as some called them, were found in large amounts in Uncle's grand collection. Perhaps the diary and the books would help me pass the time until this obsession loosened its hideous grasp. Perhaps. Perhaps not, I found. On the fateful night of August 18th, I found a passage in my uncle's diary which ignited a spark in my brain so strong that a torrent of fire seized me. Chills ran all through my body. My uncle, as sane as they come, wrote with a shaky hand in his diary. This disturbing yet gripping account will forever repeat in my head.
The book said they dwell in the most loathsome of places, lonely places of hiding away from the prying eyes of the herd, where they are free to devour their prey in lustful glee. Cemeteries, abandoned houses, caves, and decaying woods. Doggish and brutal morphology leads one to an initial belief that they are inhuman, but closer inspection of their physical attributes may shed light upon a possible hominid lineage. If these creatures do indeed exist, I must lay my eyes upon one somehow or in some way. However expansive my search must remain quite surreptitious, for if anyone suspected my belief in these creatures' foul existence, I would most certainly be institutionalized. Sheep! What of their God have they ever seen? Why are their churches not the holding places of the mad? The fools. I am not interested in fantasy or flights of imagination. Quite to the contrary. I am only seeking that which is very real. And on this I rest justified that I am not unbalanced. The book has shown me glorious and deadly things. Things of mad delight.
Much time passes in my uncle's diary, and many of the entries were damaged by water and time. I read them all until, finally, a break in his fevered search, a rambling string of nonsense tainted with a hue of madness unlike anything I had encountered thus far in his journal. I am enthralled, yet fearful of what I search for. The book mentioned in my uncle's diary is nowhere to be found. Where is it? No time for searching now. I must read on.
I lured it out with meat-cheap leg of mutton procured from the local butcher. I hid behind a large bramble, hoping it would not espy me. After a long and draining search, this was it. A mere 3 hours' wait, and its greedy hand reached from the darkness and snatched the meat. My God, that face, the carnage, raw meat rendered from the bone. The teeth sounded as if they had cracked down to the marrow. I shifted in the darkness to regain the feeling in one of my feet when I slipped and dropped my lantern. It crashed upon a stone and the creature saw me. Oh God, its eyes upon me. I ran until I burst, but to my chagrin I heard it shambling after me. Over the crest of the hill I ran with it still upon my heels. Out of nowhere I felt a rush of pain in the back of my right calf. Excruciating pain. It had bit me. In that moment I lost my footing and began to tumble down the hill. The creature clutched me. I gasp for air as I think of its rubbery flesh and its fetid smell. We fell until merciful fate dealt a blow to the creature, releasing its grasp upon me. The creature had taken the brunt of our fall upon a large, sharp rock at the bottom of the hill. It shrieked and howled. I cannot forget the sound. I still hear it now, and sometimes out of instinct I hold my hands over my ears to block the sound. It laid limp. And now, seeing this as my only chance of escape, I hobbled away through the woods, cursing the wound, my life, and that thing. I am sick and afraid. I heard it once more as I left the wood. I could not believe it was still alive, but it is quite alive, and the hideous freak of nature may still find me. Animals can track a scent, can they not? My God, I am not safe and this wound festers. I shall write nothing more in this journal concerning this event. I thought writing would bring me some peace about the subject, but it only sickens me more. I refuse to ever return to that spot, and I pray no one will ever lay their eyes upon it again. The book talks of a lifetime that far exceeds that of normal man. It lives as I die, day by day as all mortals do. This home is my tomb.
This terrifying first-hand account given by my uncle was a dread climax in an otherwise uneventful diary of varied and silly occult experimentation. The seriousness of the diary had become more marked when my uncle stumbled upon a book called De Vermis Mysteriis. Within 3 months of finding this book, my uncle became obsessive and driven to morbid acts that should have put him away forever. Perhaps the failures drove him to this madness. Maybe he was so intent on finding a world beyond the mundane that he left this world without even knowing it. His fantastic stories could have been attributed to numerous things. Lack of sleep. My family does have a hereditary weakness concerning sleep deprivation. Alcohol? Or maybe it was simply a lapse of sanity in an otherwise sane life. Whatever the reason, the journal entries seem to explain the agoraphobia that ailed my great-uncle during the final months of his life. In the end, he was solitary, moody, and struck with a strange sadness.